Hi, I'm Chris McLaughlin, and the first compass was used in China between 20 BC and 20 AD, which sounds like it can't be right. It sounds like it must have been used way before then. Anyway, today we're going to write, but before we start, I just want to take 3 deep breaths. And the reason we do this is just clear our mind, let go of any stresses going on. So, if you feel comfortable, close your eyes, and we're going to breathe in and out, and in and out, and in and out. Great stuff. Open your eyes. Cool. As you can tell by my fact that I don't quite believe myself, we're going to talk about compasses today. I've been being taught a lot about compasses metaphorically recently. I've just done a course with yestheory, and Thomas uses the phrase, follow your compass, not your map, which I think is beautiful, because your map can change, or your map might not be, you reflect on what other people have done in your map, but your compass always points towards your true north, what you want. And I thought that was a really interesting thing to write about for us. I think that's a nice thing to kind of check in about. What's your true north? How do you navigate the world? What's your compass say? How do you find what you find to be your, what am I trying to say? Your direction. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. Confidence. How do you find your direction? I think that's a fascinating thing to think about, and a really interesting way to look at where we might be in our lives right now and where we want to go, and within that kind of like being gentle to ourselves, because as long as we're kind of following our direction, we might be going north. Some days we're going northeast, sometimes we're going northwest, sometimes we might be going south. We have days where we slide back again, but we know where we want to go to. Okay? Cool. So, if you feel comfortable, grab your pen and paper or your Word document, and just to let you know, as always, if you want to write a poem, that's perfect. I absolutely love poems, nearly swore there. They don't have to rhyme. If you want to write a short story, amazing. A journal entry, just check in on yourself, see how you're doing today. This might be a very good one for that, I think. Perfect. Or just scribble some words on the paper, whatever you want. Great, cool. Right, so we're going to write for 7 minutes. So when you feel comfortable, grab your pen and paper, and we're going to start writing now. And you're about halfway through. And you've got about 1 minute left. And if you start coming to the end of the line or idea that you're on, great stuff. Cool. Okay, cool. Right, we're going to take 3 more deep breaths just to clear out anything in that came up we don't want to carry with us. So, if you feel comfortable, close your eyes and we're going to breathe in and out. And in and out. And in and out. Great stuff. Open your eyes. Cool. I hope you enjoyed that one. I think that's an interesting exercise. I thought I would take it a bit lighter than I would, where it'd be quite a funny-ish maybe poem in some ways, but nope. I think it can really, in a really nice way, tackle something inside yourself where you're like, where am I going? And you don't always have to know, I don't think. I think if you find your direction where you're going actually kind of appears to you as you go. I think a little bit like these right now. I just thought I'd do some workshops online and see how that went, and I'm really enjoying it, and I don't know where it's going to lead, and I'm just enjoying the process, I guess. So anyway, it's very, very meta. Hope you enjoyed it. I'd love to read any lines that you got. If you want to pop any in the comment, I'd love you to pop the whole thing if you fancy popping the whole thing down. I always love reading your writing, and I really appreciate people are starting to, very slowly, but starting to comment on each other's, and that's really nice to see, because it's not just, I'm not a teacher, I'm not here to say well done or whatever, and I love doing it, and I love reading and writing and everything, but it means a lot that you're starting to like talk to each other. I want this to be a community, you know. We're all just writers. No one's higher or lower than anyone else here. So, I'll share what I wrote. It's weird when you're writing, this isn't where I want it to be, but writing sometimes I feel is a bit like gold panning. I've seen a couple of bits of gold in here that I'm like, I'm going to take this further. I'm going to let it rest for like a week or 2 weeks, come back and edit it, and I think there's something there, maybe, I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, so, I wrote, sometimes I struggle to remember my true north. I'll go over times in my life when I felt I was facing the right direction. My mind will become a beehive of should have dones and if onlys. It's only later, after a deep breath, as silence descends, I remember my compass knows where to go. All these intrusive thoughts are just magnets playing havoc with which way my needles, with which way my needle needs to point. I just have to trust my gut and remember my mind might be fried, trying to find the right path. But just trust your bones. They know where to go. Cool. So a little bit of repetition in there, a little like unwanted repetition this time. Could be very much cleaned up, but I think there's something in there. I think I'm going to maybe pursue that a little bit. So yeah, maybe throw some different stuff at it. Yeah, anyway. I am thinking about doing an editing workshop at some point. I think it won't be for a while yet, because I have to really analyse the way I edit, and I edit very furiously, so it's kind of hard to break it down into points. But a few of you have said you'd be interested in that. So yeah, in a couple of weeks or so, I'll pop one of those up, and that'd be quite interesting, I think. Cool. Thank you very much for coming. I'm very reflective now. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for taking part in the writing, for sharing if you fancy sharing. Don't worry if you don't. I just want to remind you, as always, if no one's told you recently, you are enough. Alright? Alright. Have a good day. Thumbs up.